there would have been over 100 winners this year. That's the suggestion from Education Minister Ronald Jones. His comments came as he commended this year's 53 scholarship and exhibition winners. But he says that students performed better in the Unit 2 CAPE paper, which is taken in second year in sixth form.
It means that preliminary year is a year that creates a little bit of difficulty in the transition. But as students settle down to do CAPE Unit 2, they're performing better by just looking at how we award scholarships and exhibitions based on that. I don't want to create any controversy between former partners in education and still partners in education, but I've noticed the results vis-a-vis Harrison College and Queen's College in Barbados. I've noticed it.
Well, the minister says that students continue to put in good work and believes that more could still be done.
Good work is being done, but more has to be done. Anytime we settle for just what is, then we don't evolve. We fall into a state of mediocrity. We're comfortable with ourselves. We raise our chest high and say, I am. I will always be. That's not true. I am, I will be, I must be, or I can be. Something else has to be inserted there.
Meantime, Senior Assistant Registrar at CSC, Dr. Charles Mayanga, says Barbados scored well in the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination as the students outperformed regional counterparts in 29 out of the 50 units. And his comments came during a presentation to mark the official release of the CCSLC, CVQ, CSEC and CAPE examinations. However, he expressed concern about students' performance in the literatures of English exam.
When you look at the literature, the performance for Barbados is slightly, or is lower compared to the region, 77% compared to 88% in the region. So those are many points. We wish it would be something like 5 points, would be a difference of 4, a difference of something like that. But when it is about 11% gap, then there is a gap. We cannot hide it. We have to say it out loud that we need to do more in these particular subjects. In fact, even for grade 1, well, the difference is between 5 and 2, which is 3, doesn't fit into my 5, but still there's a gap.
And during his presentation, Dr. Mayanga also highlighted a decline in students' performances locally and across the region in the pure maths exam.
I picked the next subject because the performance is generally low, not only here where you find that it is 54% attaining grades 1 to 5, but the whole region is 65. So there are two problems. 65 is not a good performance for the region. 54 is even not better for the Barbados. So I don't want to keep it and say, you know, there are some subjects here we did very well. But for this one here as an example, is a subject which in the region needs some improvement because the performance is 65. Barbados needs to pull up, sir, because the performance is at 54.
Well, determination, extracurricular activities, and keeping to schedule were some of the keys to success for this year's scholarship and exhibition winners. CBC News visited the homes of Sado Yard, Staffy Agard, Shanda Mwanza, and Aaliyah Aline Smith, who all received grade 1s at CAPE, and Brian Wood, who was awarded an exhibition. They told us that hard work and sacrifice were essential for their success.
Well, after exams, we would talk afterwards, and I'd be like, you saw what happened on Scandal last night? And I had to be like, no, I didn't watch it. I was like, what, you don't take a break? And they're like, no, I do take breaks, but in my breaks I have to sleep and eat. Can't watch TV because I is a person that if I start watching a series and it's really good, I can want to keep watching another episode, and then 2 hours or so will pass and you'd be like, this is time I could have spent studying. So I just, after exams, I would, stay around, talk about the exam, but then I try to leave early so that I won't have to deal with spoilers. I hate spoilers. So I won't watch it for myself, which I've been doing for the entire summer.
For me, I love to do extracurricular activities just to balance it out. So I always did netball from primary school straight up. And I'm not one to stop my activities during exam time, so I did netball, I did basketball, key club, and everything. And to me, doing those activities while studying, it makes it easier. So you get like, you're at school and you're just like, oh gosh, there's so much work. But then you go and you play basketball, you run around and you have fun. It's a good stress relief. So that helped me through the entire process from young straight to now.
I kind of kept in isolation. The cell phone didn't go off completely, but I restricted my WhatsApp conversations. There was no time for that. I mean, I had things to study.
Focus on time management. I wouldn't say it's a matter of intelligence per se. If you put a lot of effort into your work and you have effort and time management together, you will be sure to succeed. Make sure you meet certain targets by certain times and study for exams start early, and I think you'll be able to get through.
The cherry on top had to be the last day of exams when we realized, okay, we finished with CAPE, finished with CXC, let's just go and get some food and relax. It's all over, thank the Lord.
Congrats to all the winners. Well, the National Conservation Commission has removed 30,000 cubic meters of Sargassum seaweed from beaches across the island. This has been revealed by General Manager Keith Neblett, who says they have been able to somewhat control the amount of seaweed on the beaches. Mr. Neblett says they have been continuously cleaning beaches of the Sargassum seaweed every weekend and have been successful in finding ways to dispose what is collected.
We've given it to several farmers around the island, plant nurseries. We use it at NCC ourselves. And we're hoping that it's kind of abating right now. We will hope that it remains like that.
The NCC General Manager says the UWI KFIL campus will be hosting a seminar next week with the top natural and social scientists from across the university, with key stakeholders in the Caribbean's tourism, business and fisheries sectors to discuss the Sargassum seaweed phenomenon. He's hoping that a solution will be found.
The Tobago government had mentioned about it in a regional approach, and I've heard the CTO, the Caribbean Tourism Organization, mentioned, and I think so, because the type of impact that it's had over the last 3 months, 3-4 months, really says is that we really need to look at it for the, all the Caribbean countries involved to see. I know we cannot stop it from coming in, but certainly we have to find some way of how best that we can remove it as quickly as it comes.
Mr. Neblett was speaking during the ribbon-cutting ceremony of Saul's Children Matter Most beautification project at the Arrowbarrow Park. Marketing assistant at Saul, Shola Map, says the project is an annual one conducted by their interns.
The intern program has been going on at Saul for the last 3 years, and every year we ask our interns to take part and do a community project. This year the interns have exceeded our expectations, and they have taken on raising funds for a children's home called Sayers Court, as I had mentioned before, and they have also, like I said, taken on the project to upgrade a park close to the Seoul community, which is the Arrowbarrow Play Park.
Intern Angeline Catlin told us about the work they did at the park.
We had to debush the area and also take down some broken limbs. And also there's broken equipment that the children could not use, as it was a safety hazard.
And of course, the children were pleased with the results.
I feel happy because when the seesaws were broken down, we did not get to go on the seesaws, and the swings, people were rolling over the swings and stuff, and the swings were breaking down, so I feel very happy. Most of the seesaws, they were in half, and you didn't have anything to swing on because everybody needs to be on the swings all the time, and all you had to do is slide. So I'm happy that we have more swings and new seesaws.
$6,000 was spent on refurbishing the park. The health minister has expressed concern about the high rates of chronic non-communicable diseases among Barbadians. John Boyce made the comments after the findings of the Barbados Health of the Nation survey were disclosed today at a press conference held at the Frank Walcott building. The survey reveals that there are high ratios of individuals over the age of 25 with diseases like hypertension, diabetes, and obesity.
I remain particularly concerned about the level of obesity, the level of physical inactivity, high alcohol intake, and low consumption of vegetables. And we will have seen demonstrated the facts in relation to these very important factors. These risk factors, particularly when working together, contribute to the burden of stroke, heart attack, and cancers, which are the leading causes of sickness and premature death in Barbados.
The health minister says that if there is no change in eating habits, the country will be set back when its aim is to move forward.
While government will be aggressively pursuing policy options and programs, it would be incomplete if I do not implore every citizen to take seriously the picture of ourselves that has been presented in the Health of Our Nation study today. Take this opportunity to begin to make necessary lifestyle changes. If you need to exercise more, to lose weight, just do it. If you need to change the way you eat, use less sugar, salt, and fat, and if you need to take an alcohol beverage, do so with extreme moderation.
Well, the issue of Barbados becoming a republic will soon be debated at the Democratic Labour Party headquarters. General Secretary of the party, George Pilgrim, says the topic will be on the agenda of the DLP's 60th anniversary celebrations. And he was speaking during a press conference at the George Street Auditorium.
On the first Sunday, which is the 23rd of August, the party will be debating a resolution supporting vision for a republic. The resolution will be debated seeking to indicate to the public of Barbados support for our party leader in his vision to see Barbados become a republic. We also have a resolution seeking the government to explore the idea of ensuring that every school child is exposed to the world of work through a partnership with the public and private companies in this country.
Mr. Pilgrim also notes a growing trend among youth expressing an interest in politics. He says that females in particular are among those who are the driving force in the party and the decision making.
We have about 18,000, as I indicated to you, during the course of 2014-2015. We recruited just under 200 new persons. Most of these persons who came were young females who would express an interest in participating in branches and get involved in the party's activity. The induction ceremony will be soon announced for the members. The induction ceremony forms part of the educational thrust in terms of introducing members into the halls of the party, and they shall be inducted by our party leader and Prime Minister, Randall Stewart.
Housing developments in Barbados usually fail because of a lack of coordination and cooperation. Now, this is the belief of the former Chief Town Planner Lenny St. Hill. According to him, the parties involved do not communicate as well as they should, and this often leads to problems. Mr. St. Hill was at the time giving a lecture at the Angill Methodist Church.
If you have to buy land, pay for it, and then find money to develop it, you're playing a losing game. If, on the other hand, you have a partnership between the landowner and the developer who had money to buy the land, now using that to develop the land, and others as prospective tenants, purchasers, or whatever, bringing their little bits through the insurance companies and the mortgage companies, you have more rapid development and you have better development.
More news in just a moment, but first we want to get your take on this question. Do you believe a radical change in the eating habits of Barbadians is necessary to reduce chronic non-communicable diseases? You can text yes or no to short code 8111 and we'll have the results for you at the end of our news.
The Barbados Community College's Industry Services Unit, the Barbados Tourism Product Authority, and the Transport Authority invite taxi and tour bus owners and tour operators to register now for the upcoming Passenger Transport Service Operator Training Program starting on Sunday, August 16th. Course days are Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., Mondays, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Thursdays, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Topics include business management, effective communication, defensive driving, quality customer service, tour guiding basics, foreign language basics, history and geography of Barbados, and occupational health and safety. Download your form from the college's website, www.bcc.edu.bb. For course fees and other information, please call the Industry Services Unit at 426-3351 or 426-2858, extension 5366. This program is also sponsored by the Technical and Vocational Education and Training Council.
Eye on the Arts, the Krakow edition. Brought to you with the kind compliments of Indigo Blue, Tweedside Road for beauty accessories and home accents. Indigo Blue, make everyday exotic. MIS Products, making it special. Barbados Gold Buyers, the island's largest and highest paying precious metals dealer. Bring your gold today. And iExchange Inc. Sell it now or get cash today and buy it back later.
Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation, or the BIDC, Sondra Trotman, has been giving an update on the situation at that corporation in the matter involving the workers who were sent on retirement. She says that the BIDC's lawyer has agreed with the lawyer for the workers' representative that a planned injunction will not go ahead and that the workers' retirement date will be extended until December 31st this year. Before then, it is expected that the judicial matter started by the corporation will be heard. She gave the background to that matter.
The BIDC, in response to claims from the workers' representative that it had acted illegally to invoke Section 8.1 of the Statutory Boards Pension Act, had made an offer to the NUPW in a meeting with the Minister of Labour on the 9th of July at the offices of the Labour Department, where the BIDC first offered to have the matter decided in a court of law. That offer was to extend the retirement date of the identified workers until December 31st, 2015.
Well, she said that the offer was not accepted at the time, but on July 20th, a lawyer representing 7 of the workers filed an application for an interim injunction and judicial review.
This injunction, in summary, was seeking to restrain the BIDC from effecting the retirement of the claimant. The hearing of the application for an interim injunction commenced Tuesday, July 28, 2015. However, on Wednesday, August 12, 2015, the lawyer for the BIDC again offered to extend the retirement date until 31st December 2015 while we await the decision of the court. This is the same offer previously made to the workers' representative.
Barbadians seem to have become very indulgent, well, at least with Pine Hill Dairy's new indulgent flavored milk. Sean Farrell tells us more.
It is only 2 weeks since the product has been launched in the market, and some retail stores have already run out of stock. Indulgence flavored milk is available in French vanilla, Irish cream, cappuccino, and dulce de leche. The cappuccino has no actual coffee, but is coffee flavored. The Irish cream has a whiskey taste, but no alcohol is included. In an exclusive interview with CBC News, category manager for Juice and Dairy, Henry Yerard, says the feedback so far has been great.
The consumers who've tried it, they are extremely happy so far. Everyone seems to be really impressed. Everyone has picked a favorite. So across the four options, we already have people having favored the dulce de leche more so than the cappuccino, or someone told me yesterday that the French vanilla definitely rings home that good rich ice cream flavor, and the Irish cream, well, different people have taken different approaches to it so far, but generally the comment regarding the similarity to either Baileys or whiskey has been true.
However, Mr. Yerard says the milk was introduced to meet the global standard and demand for flavored milk. Though indulgence is available in a 200 milliliter carton box for children, the product was developed for adults.
We came up with the indulgence line to be able to meet the demand for the adult market. We realized that we have our kids' brands out there, and there are adults that are willing and wanting to indulge in something that would meet their taste buds. So we came up with these formulations.
Mr. Yerod says the company will continue to seek out ways to encourage milk consumption so Barbadians can benefit from the goodness of milk. Sean Farrell, CBC News.
The disabled and homosexual communities want Barbadians to view sexuality with a more open mind. This was revealed during a press briefing to announce an open program entitled The Sex Shop to be held by the Barbados Family Planning Association. That event will allow open conversations among people of all sexual orientations as well as members of the disabled community. Coordinator of the Sex Shop, Leanne Wirrell, says many sexual issues are not discussed in Barbadian homes, and she's hoping that the initiative can correct this.
We grew up in a very Christian society, and sometimes what that means for some families is that they don't talk about sex or they don't talk about sexuality. So how do you learn? You ask your friends, you experiment a little bit, you try, you fail, you fall. And we felt the need to open up a bigger, candid conversation about sex and sexuality in Barbados in a way that we didn't feel has been represented publicly ever.
Also speaking at that briefing was Roseanne Foster Vaughan of the Barbados Council for the Disabled. She's concerned about the level of ignorance regarding sex and the disabled and says that initiatives like the Sex Shop will help.
Take for instance, me or my husband goes to a counter, a pharmacy. We want to get a condom, a pack of condoms. Imagine how you would feel if the pharmacist was to make a comment like, "What you want a condom for? What are you going to do with a condom?"
Well, still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across our region. But first, a reminder that we want to hear from you on this question. Do you